Hello, everybody. It is Anita here of Liberate Me, and I'm here in this tender moment for the sacred geometry forecast activation reading for the full moon. The buck full moon is what it's called in Capricorn. Okay, now how we utilize this inside of sacred geometry is very different. So be open to receive that, and I hope this serves you today. And as we start out, I'm looking at notes here, so that's why I'm going to look a little bit over here to make sure we give you all of the amazing pieces for you to use to activate creation and receive more of who you're here to be and what you're here to enjoy and what you're here to have inside of your experience. Okay, so let's start with this to start to feel safe. So take a breath, just noticing how safe you feel right now in all circumstances, within yourself, within your own skin, in this world, whatever you're experiencing as you get to this. And the invite is just to feel safe in slowing down and to let all of those moments in your life, any defining moments at the moment over the weekend, because this energy has been moving for a couple of days and it will keep moving for us to utilize, all happening for us, not to us. Just feeling into those defining moments, good, bad, ugly. They're all good, by the way, in sacred geometry. They're all here to utilize. And if even now, what you're feeling now, any defining moments recently and even in the past, or things that you're thinking about that is on your mind or on your heart, okay? Bring those forward, those tipping points. And what sacred geometry wants you to know as we open this up is that, how does it want to put this? That you know, okay? You know what matters. So when you're feeling into all those defining moments right now, it's asking what really matters here inside of this, okay? So you really do know what matters, and it's much easier, right, if you have access to your sacred geometry signature. So those of you that do, connect it inside of that. So you really do. There's a lot of noise out there, and so it's easy for us, okay, to get wrapped up in what we call offloading inside of Liberate Me. I'm just messing around with the camera, making sure you can see me. And offloading means we can release the energy, relax into it, but we don't actually use it for the creation in it. So it gets bypassed, okay? And that can actually happen through lots of amazing things that are beautiful and that we enjoy doing, whether that's meditation or crystals or sound bowls or whatever it may be for you that you enjoy. And there's nothing wrong with those things. Yet if it's not utilized together with our sacred geometry signature to activate the creation and the experience we're having rather than just release it, we're not really meant to release it. We're meant to mature it, evolute it, and bring in what it was here for. So you can actually bring this, your sacred geometry signature, in unison with some of those things if you enjoy that, okay? So you don't simply offload it and get a short-term result, okay, because it gives you a short-term movement rather than a permanent upgrade to receive more of who you're here to be, what you're here to enjoy, and what you're here to have, okay? Which is what sacred geometry will give you inside of your specific signature, okay? So we want to activate those experiences you're having right now. So bring them to the surface, just gently. And I feel very tender today. And I don't know, I feel very open-hearted to invite us into that slowing down. And there is a lot of emotions in this buck, as they call it, the buck Capricorn full moon. And it's actually Capricorn twice in a row, which is unusual as well. I'm really feeling that tenderness. There's a lot of emotions moving. It's quite a lot of teary kind of feelings coming in. More about that in a minute on what this Capricorn full moon is about inside of your sacred geometry signature and how to activate creation of what you desire or even better from it. Okay. But just so you know that there's a lot of tenderness here. So now what's really important right now inside of this is to own what we think is dark. Okay, so in some of those defining moments, maybe over the weekend, in the past, or whatever you're feeling now, or whatever you're being hard on yourself about, what is that? Or something you enjoy, but you think it's wrong to enjoy it, or you'll be judged for it, or something you believe that is disruptive or controversial, or maybe opposite to what the majority of people may believe and agree with. And so, you may not get that public sentiment of agreement on it. Those kinds of things about yourself. What is it that you're feeling is on the dark side? That right now wants to come out to the light. Right now, it's really about owning who you are. And there's so many more layers that we can access to this, okay, for all of us, including me. So, for example, for me, if I give a personal example, some people call this shadow, okay? They call it shadow, the dark past. It's not, if you're inside and you know your sacred geometry signature inside of Liberate Me, it is not your full straight signature. That's something a little bit different, okay? But some people might call the shadow and the dark, or the stuff that we think, I wouldn't ever want to out that part of my personality or thinking or feeling. And actually, it's time to own that, okay? And actually what you'll find is that there's synergy in that there's creation in that for what you desire even better as you come into more of who you're here to be, okay? So, for example, it's the part of who you are that wants to be merged into your life and to be seen, okay? Not to be hidden, like it's something to be ashamed of or something to fix. I'm not sure if this is a bit bent, but anyway. So, and that is, for me, for example, some of those sides is the Liberate Me formula itself is definitely a disruptor, right? But with good reason, okay? It's definitely non-traditional in its approach with amazing good reason, but that's a dark that wants to be brought into the light now. So it's been very hidden inside of Liberate Me, working with specific clients, and now it wants to come out to the world, okay? And so that's the dark part that it's wanting me to bring into the light. Another part personally is that I love socializing. Okay, I love going out. I love having fun. I love partying the night away. I love to be the last one standing, okay, and have the time of my life. Okay, just meet lots of people, have fun, basically. Now that doesn't always fit into this idea of being spiritual, which I try to move sacred geometry away from, because that can come with so many of these pairings that are not necessarily true. So it wants me to own that and bring that more into the light, and own who I am. And so the invitation for you is where you're not owning who you are, what those dark things. And if you're open to sharing it in the comments, sharing things and sharing your feelings and your experiences as you're being with this activates creation. Okay, because of course you're bringing it out into the light, right? What better way? So utilize this, whether you're watching this on YouTube. It's probably going to be on YouTube actually, but you may see it on Instagram, wherever it is, utilize that. Okay, so that's the number one activator. All right. So what is that? The thing that you don't want other people to know that you enjoy, or thoughts or things that you feel, I better not say that. I better not think like that. Why do I think like that? It's really about owning it. Or why do I do this crazy thing over here? And, this bit is acceptable of me, but this bit's not acceptable. This is about liberation, right? Liberate me, right? To liberate you, okay? So own it, okay, of who you are. There is magic and creation inside of that. Now, If you're familiar with your feminine trait signature inside of your signature, so some of you will be clients, some of you will be have your signature or involved in Liberate Me and your sacred geometry in some way, you can get to utilize that right now, okay? If you're new to this, you can just ask this question the best way you know how. And of course, you can request your sacred geometry signature. That's something we provide complimentary, okay? There's 4 elements. You'll get what the elements are. You'll get an activation reading to launch you into this, okay? So that is available as well. That said, if you are familiar with your feminine trait signature and you can go through that of who do I want to be with this dark side or this so-called bad, naughty, to be judged side of me, behavior, thinking, feeling, things I love doing, but they're bad, they're bad for me, they're bad for my health, or whatever it may be, okay, for you. Well, what is that thing? And take it through, well, who do I want to be with this instead as I bring it into the light, as I own it? What do I want to enjoy about this instead as I bring it out into the world? What is one thing I require to do about this as I bring it out into the world and get liberated inside that, as you bring it to the light? So if you have your feminine trait signature, obviously you got deeper access to activate that, okay? And those layers. So otherwise, absolutely answer those questions, okay? This works at all layers, okay, to help you. And it is about reciprocation, sacred geometry. It's about activating it, not just releasing things. A lot of people think full moons are, releasing things that are not serving you. Literally, it's not literal. It's just not expanded enough to the sacred geometry to utilize it very specifically to you. So what is this going to do for you? It's going to increase your capacity to receive. Because at the moment, we're making something wrong, okay? And in sacred geometry, what you're here to receive is pre-created for you, all right? Yet it must be activated. So you cannot receive what you're here to receive. Okay, number one, if you're running at full speed, okay? Or if you're offloading the opportunity in managing it, because the emotions and the energies are moving all around and we want to relax and meditate for it. And that's beautiful. And be in nature. I was in nature today. That's beautiful. Yet we want to bring in the activation from your sacred geometry with it to receive the gold that's in it and not offload that. Okay? So it's going to increase your capacity to receive. And also you cannot receive if you're going at full speed. We want to slow down to speed up to receive this, okay? And being with these activations. Okay, so, yeah. And offloading, this term that we're using, offloading, that can often be associated, again, with the things that we think are bad, like binge watching reality TV or, which I also love. Right? I love some reality TV shows, so I'm going to bring that out into the light as well. Or, binging on social media. That's not something I enjoy, so I don't do that. But if you do, is bringing it out into the light, or certain food or drinking or those kinds of things. And you're like, no, I'm a bad person. That's something I have to hide about myself. No. Okay, it's all here for you to receive. So, but actually, what we sometimes, things that we think are good are the things that we're actually offloading into, okay? And that doesn't mean we don't do them or we can't be with them and we can't enjoy them with your sacred geometry. You can, okay? But things like exercise, meditation, okay? They're not bad. We love them, okay? I'm going to do a bit of yoga after this, but I will be bringing my sacred geometry activation in with this. So take these questions in with it and activate. If you've got your signature, you can do it with it. You don't have to merge it with any of these things at all, okay? It gives you that effect anyway, okay? That's the magic in the sacred geometry, okay? So, yeah. Without utilizing your sacred geometry activation inside of that, they can help us release feelings and feel better and get a little result for a short term, but not that big upgrade that we're talking about. That's permanent. Okay, so we keep evoluting and we have a permanent upgrade inside of sacred geometry for the layer that you arrived at. Okay, yeah. So it's really to merge your sacred geometry and your signature with that. It's a potent change maker inside of what starts to happen, okay? Or you can do it without that, okay? You don't have to utilize these things. It says that these are the common things that people do around the new moon, and that is beautiful, okay? But it's missing this part. So you got an opportunity to expand your experiences, slowing down in enjoying that dark part of yourself, okay? That isn't dark at all, all right? It's owning who you are, because your shadow or your dark self is actually you too. So we want to embrace it, okay? And then we want to evolve it through what we call that feminine trait signature. Who do I want to be with this? What I want to enjoy? What's something I require to do? So it comes into who we're here to be, and not in any forced trait or wounded self that would make it not useful as such, okay? It's a beautiful, increases your capacity to enjoy the pleasure in it and the allowing of this, okay? So ask yourself, what is it that is on my heart that I'm not currently allowing myself to receive, okay? Or do, okay? Or I'm doing it and beating myself up for it. What is that thing? All right? And we're also going to be opening, I'll mention it now, and I'll say a little bit more about it at the end, but we really want to go into the different parts of the Capricorn new moon and the key factors you need to know, key activators to use it and bring in what you want, okay? Or even better, what's been pre-created for you. So, you know, the thing even better than getting what you want is getting what you don't want, because you get what was pre-created for you that you could never imagine is what you really truly desired and what it was all for as well. So be open to that too. So we are opening, you may have heard this in a few little videos we've been doing on Instagram and a few pre-announcements. We are opening, and we are going to open it today, soft launch, to a 78-part series. That's been hinted at a little bit here and there, and now we're going to start opening that up. So it's called Liberate Me 78. Okay, so, and I would love to have you as part of that. We will release a link probably in the description. We'll change it in the Instagram bio, so it will be in there as well. We'll start sending it out in different ways, right? So, and you get to sign up on that link. We're gonna probably start around the 30th of July, but there'll be some pre-primers, as we call them. This is definitely a pre-primer for that. And there's a couple already on Instagram, so you can start to get warmed up inside of that to turn it on to receive what's inside of. These are 78 layers inside of your sacred geometry signature that have never been released before. New layers, new waves, new frequencies, okay? Your fundamental sacred geometry signature has 4 elements, and then we go into what we call your beyond order leader that has, it's bespoke to you, but that can have many, many elements as well. Okay, I won't give a number on that, but a lot, right, inside of that. And these are 78 waves that you can integrate with that, okay? They come into what we call the ethereal, the ethereal, I should say. I pronounced that completely incorrectly. The ethereal geometry revelations, okay? So, which is a huge new layer that we're opening up in Liberate Me. So this is new to everyone, even the clients, okay? So you may be able to jump into that wherever you are, okay? So we'd love to have you. This is going to be a complimentary series that's going to start opening up these layers, okay? That link's going to be released over the next few days. I'm sure we're going to be sharing more on that, and we're aiming to kick off on the 30th of July or thereabouts. So why is it 78? 78 is the year of my birth, okay? So you can work out my age now. But it is, the message that comes from sacred geometry on 78 is that it's divine guidance and support. I'm merely the messenger, okay? I'm human. I'm experiencing all this. That's my gift, to experience that and to put it out there, okay? And it also stands for 78 is for success, abundance, inner wisdom, and another level of intuition. Not intuition as we know it. We think we're like, that's our intuition. But there's so much moving inside of us That is what we call from the root wound and the four straight signature, the negative frames that are not who we are, and we're not aware of that, and we're thinking it's our intuition. Intuition is very bespoke, and the ways you can access that through the exacting precision and elements of your sacred geometry. And we're about to release 78 more layers, and we're just going to be with this over the rest of this year, okay? So it's not going to be, we're going to try to squeeze it all in. We're going to really embody that slowing down to speed up and really receiving it and activating, because this is a real, the Liberate Me 78 is going into the ethereal geometry revelations experience. Okay, that's an experience that as an activator you invest into in an exclusive way and activate that. Okay, so these are real activations that we're putting out there, that we go deeper inside of the experience. So yeah, so it's kind of cool. We're not just doing it as a little here's something we're doing, but we're not, showing it all to you. We're going to give you a good layer, and then inside of Liberate Me, inside of that experience, if that's something you stepped into, you'd experience it even deeper. Okay, so yes. And 78 also encourages us to embrace our individuality. So this is why the message was to open this up today with the buck, Capricorn, new moon, because it is saying, hello, we need to go to what we think is dark, bring it out into the light, and embrace that individuality. Stop the judgment to the self and to others, okay? We are multidimensional. We can be many things, okay? So it's about bringing all of those things into the light, that individuality, while continuing. I mean, the way I had the message was to work hard. Now, I never liked that, but it was saying working hard towards our goals, but in a brand new way through your sacred geometry, through these 78 ethereal geometry revelations that you're going to receive, okay, to activate in a specific way. So it isn't working hard as we know, okay, but in a brand new way with the release of these 78 layers. All right, let's get more into that new moon and what it is here for. Let me just have a sip of water. So it's an emotional one. You may be feeling some emotions. Could be quite tender, sort of, maybe you're crying for no reason or feeling emotions. Definitely true for me. And it's encouraging us to embrace changes that want to happen. So if you've had invite to change and you're trying to not embrace that, start to be open to that. It's and embrace the emotional experiences. If you're keeping those emotional experiences in the dark, right? Well, I can't put that out there. I can't share that. Bring it to the light, okay? Come out, own it in some way, okay? Maybe in the comments, or maybe you can definitely reach out privately as well. So yeah, and because it's really brought by this full moon to facilitate you to activate growth, or the experience of growth and positivity of what you want to experience. So it is the 22nd of July today, I think, when this is released. So what does that mean? This energy's been moving for a couple of days. It's, officially it moves over 5 days, and the height of it is actually yesterday, today, which means usually inside of the astrology side of it, it's called a 5-day window. But inside of sacred geometry, it is timeless. It extends out, okay? So whenever you receive this, whenever you come to this, you're going to be able to activate this and utilize this in some way, okay? So there are probably 5 things, maybe, that's how it's coming through now, that we're going to look at, that you can utilize with your sacred geometry signature, okay, to map it to that. And it's a very potent one, okay? We require right now, okay, to be conscious about energies that are moving in, the temptation for emotional releases, just to release the emotion, okay? Now, a lot of what you'll hear inside of new moon is to release the emotions, right? Which makes sense, but we don't want to release them on their own. We want to activate the creation in them. Otherwise, we offload them, remember. So I'm going to jump into 5 things, and at the end, I want to give you a few activations. We've already had a few at the beginning, okay? So yeah, to bring those forward for you. So feel into everything that's coming through to you. Take plenty of reflection, notes, and you can put it inside of the comments as well. And yeah, so let's get started inside of that, okay? All right, so it's the buck moon in Capricorn. This isn't so much about the astrological messages. It's part of it, okay? But it's from the sacred geometry point of view. So the energies here are very potent, okay? Now the differences in the previous full moon is slightly different, okay, from the couple of full moons, which were good for reaping rewards. And it's not that this full moon is not about getting rewards. It is, okay? It's about creating and activating creation, but it's more about owning who you're here to be, okay? So it doesn't just want you to release things, and this is a common misconception, is because what happens by a side effect is obviously we release something when we receive more of who we're here to be, what we're here to enjoy, and what we're here to have, okay? But we don't just want to offload it. Okay, so you want to get conscious inside of that, okay? Something beeping here, but let me see if I can switch that off so it doesn't disturb us. Gorgeous. Okay. All right, so you might fall into feeling emotional traps, feeling emotionally triggered, or feel into a spiral of negativity, or just tender. And that's okay. That's all happening for you, not to you. We want to utilize it. There's magic in it, okay? It's not what you think it means, all right? You are not feeling triggered or trapped or in negativity for the reason it's telling you you are, okay? And really slow down with that idea and feel that. So those 5 points. Number 1 is that there's activation of renewal to receive more of who you're here to be, okay? So, and it's signifying taking what feels like chaos, right? That dark side of our character, our thinking, our behavior, our feelings, to liberate it, okay, like we started out with, okay, to what feels like chaos, to order, okay? It doesn't mean it's going to look like order, but it is order. It's your order in your sacred geometry signature, okay, and owning that. And with that, if you're able to embrace that, you can expect some unexpected changes and some news, okay? And trust that it is for the greater good for you to embrace that right now, okay? So, and you may be feeling a lot of emotions and wanting an emotional release, but rather than release, we want to, yes, release it, but transcend it and use it. So there may be past traumas coming up, or some experiences that are resurfacing that you just coming out of nowhere. Like, where did that come from? Why am I talking about that? Right? And that's okay, because there's no such thing as a repeated pattern or, you know, fixing yourself in sacred geometry. If it's coming to the surface, it has used to receive more of who you're here to be, what you're here to enjoy, what you're here to have. This is a divine activation, and it's not just for cleansing and letting go of old baggage, okay? We don't just want to cleanse it and let go of it and manage it and release it. We want to use it, okay? And you'll know how to use that with your sacred geometry signature. Nothing is what we think what it means on the surface. If we don't want to get rid of it, we want to use it. And yes, there is a side effect that you feel like you've cleansed and you released, but in a very different way to just simply releasing it, like writing it down and burning it, for example, okay? That's not it, right? We want to add this into it. This is the more. So embrace those emotions as signals for activation of creation or receiving something you desire, or even better, okay? And also it's going to enhance your intuition, your sacred geometry knowing. So you're going to be able to read your own sacred geometry signature, the messages that are coming through, and know what is truth and what is illusion, okay? So it's going to be heightened at this time. And also you want to pay attention to any synchronicities, any repeated things, any gut instincts that you're having. And you want to look into something we call your inner creation authority in your sacred geometry, or feel into that gut instinct of, is this something I'm here to follow, okay? Your sacred geometry has all these answers in your signature. There's nothing to figure out, okay? So, and you're going to be able to trust. It's asking you to trust your sacred geometry, your soul design direction, more than your logical mind. So where are you in your logical mind? And it's stopping you from allowing yourself to move into what it is that your gut is saying, I know what matters, and this matters. This is something I require to move into. I don't know why logically, but this is something I require to move into. This is something I enjoy, the dark into the light, okay? Owning who you are, okay? Something that you're wanting, and all these synchronicities that you may be seeing that are coming together, all of those things that are coming to the surface, those are here to use. They all have magic inside of them, okay? So you're going to increase your creation power. So we use the word creation, creation, activating creation of what is pre-created for you inside of Liberate Me and Sacred Geometry, not manifestation. Because manifestation are practices, they're short-lived, they're making things happen. They're not activating the greater activation of creation and actually upgrading you and your being. And then by you upgrading your being and receiving who you're here to be, you turn on like a beacon to receive what is yours to receive. So your creation power will be amplified. So while this new moon, like many new moons, can bring heightened emotions, potential negativity, and we love negativity inside of sacred geometry. We see it as positivity because it's here to be utilized in a very specific way. So it's not about staying calm and focused and trying to be positive through the negativity and the emotions. It's like slowing down, let yourself be tender, getting the message from your sacred geometry signature. What is this here for? How am I here to utilize this? And not just try to stay positive for it, but to enhance your ability to activate the creation of your desires, or even better, okay? And it's going to be a reconnection. Now, often inside of the new moons, it's used in a generic way, like reconnect to nature, right? Go and hug a tree, which is okay. We can do that too, right? But it is also about reconnecting to the nature of you, okay? And you can do that with nature. If you want to go out and take a walk and be with, the trees or whatever it is for you that makes you feel good, you can be with that for sure. So it's not saying don't do those things. It's saying add this in. What is that dark side or that part of you that you're keeping in the dark? It wants to be brought into the light and own it, okay? If you want to do that with, some of these other practices you may use, you can integrate it, or you don't need to, okay? Whatever feels good to you, it really doesn't matter, because it's about reconnecting to your true nature, who you're truly here to be liberated. So the buck moon will naturally draw you to reconnect with nature. And now sometimes we can externalize that and reconnect to nature, like actual nature. And that's okay. But we also want to reconnect with our true nature, okay? That opening of owning who we are. And that will result in enhancing feelings of calmness, peace, and abundance, because you come into truth. When you come into truth, you amplify your creation power, okay? So it's not about trying to ground. A lot in the full moon, traditionally we talk about, let's try to ground ourselves through this energy. You don't have to ground yourself. It's really grounding yourself in your true nature and activating through your sacred geometry. So you get a side effect of feeling grounded without offloading it, okay? So we're going to wrap this up with, I think probably 4. Let's see. All right. Oh, these numbers come through, and then there's always more than that, okay? Because all that logic is an illusion as well, numbers, time. Anyway, more about that inside of Liberate Me 78, which we are going to invite you to join us in today. We're hopefully going to release that link today or soon for you to join us in that. If you're just watching this now, go back to the beginning. We talk about it. I'm going to talk about it a little bit at the end as well. So 4 activations, Liberate Me, Sacred Geometry activations. And if you have your Sacred Geometry signature, put it together with that. And utilize it with whatever is moving for you personally, bespoke to you right now, okay? Because it's all by design, all to be utilized for that. Now, so we talk a lot about meditation, and that is one activation, but it isn't traditional meditation, okay? It's about connecting with your truth, okay? That part of you, that dark side, or that part of you that you judge, or that you're not allowing yourself to step into, something you desire, that is a gut instinct, that makes a logical sense, but you know it matters. You know it's going to give you something, okay? It's about that. What is that for you? It's about connecting to that and seeing the feelings that come up with that, the judgments and all of that, okay? Because that is what wants to be transcended and activated, what feels like that cleansing and clearing, okay? So we don't just want to go into visualization and meditation, because that manages it, and we do a little visualization. We can manifest something through that, but it's very temporary. It doesn't actually upgrade. And we don't have a true visualization, because a lot of the time we're visualizing through what we call the negative frames, or the false trait signature, the root wound signature in your sacred geometry signature. So that needs to transcend, okay? You want to transcend that and activate that, and then you will receive the vision, okay? It will be given to you. You don't even need to imagine it. It will be given to you. So, okay, so if desired, you can request your sacred geometry signature. If you haven't got that, or if you're inside the experiences, you know what to do, right? You can ask, be with this in terms of the experiences you're having in life right now that have been designed for you to utilize with these messages and your sacred geometry signature. All right. So we're moving out of practicing to activating. And what happens is that we kind of come into a meditative state with life itself, okay? Now, another thing that is traditionally put forward to do around this time is journaling, okay? Now, inside Liberate Me and inside your sacred geometry signature, we want to not just journal, because that can, it's not specific to your sacred geometry signature, it's bespoke to you. You want to be very specific with that and precise, okay? So we don't just want to manage overwhelming emotions. You want to activate the beauty, the magic, that the reservoir of creation that is inside of it for you, what it was given to you for. So instead, you just want to write down, well, what is that dark thing? Okay, what is that thing that I'm not bringing to the light and owning who I am? What is that one thing I'm desiring that I'm pretending I don't, even though my gut wants it and I'm trying to avoid it, but I want it? All of these things, okay? And who do I want to be with this instead? What do I want to enjoy about this instead? What do I want to do about this instead as I bring it out into the light? Or what is it that I need to help me transcend what is holding me back and what scares me of bringing that out into the light, okay? So it's not just generally writing down, what's working for me, what's not in my life right now, or this is overwhelming, and just to get it out and get rid of it. It is to write down those specific things. And as a result of that, what you're going to see happen as you transcend that is that it will bring in action and productivity in a very natural way. Capricorn is very productive, action orientated, okay? So that starts to happen naturally without you pushing yourself into that. It activates through you owning who you are, all right? or starting to transcend that and starting to be with that, okay? Because sometimes you cannot just switch it on and just, come out to the world with that dark thing and bring it into the light. There's a transcendence, and all those layers are to be honored and activated through your signature. And as you're being with each of those layers, you are receiving what you desire, or even better. So they're all required. So wherever you are is beautiful. And now, of course, at this time, a lot of people do rituals and ceremonies, and that's beautiful, whether it's, cleansing or burning or crystals or whatever it is, or mantras, or intentions, and that's beautiful. Yet again, it can go into the offloading and managing it for a small, getting through this period, and a small upgrade or a small manifestation, okay, but not a permanent upgrade. So you can still utilize those things. If you like those things, you can utilize those things as you be together. You're merging your sacred geometry signature with those things, bringing these activations into it, okay? Or if you're not into those things, or you just want to be with this activation on its own, it's more than enough. It will give you that, okay? Because actually, the crystal, the water, all that, it comes from within and out. It doesn't come from the outside, okay? But it's nice to have those things if you want them and they serve you in any way. Of course you can, okay? It's just about utilizing them together and adding your sacred geometry to that, okay? Often you'll hear the recommendation of nature, all right? Taking walks in nature. And if that appeals to you, great, but you don't have to. It's about getting to connect with your true nature. Okay, and if you are going to be with nature and going to, parks or grassy areas or near water, that's not providing the grounding for you to activate your creation of what you desire, but it's reminding you of your true nature. I am you, you are me, I am you, okay? So you can utilize these activations with that as well, okay? Beautiful. So I think we're going to sign it off there. So it is a tender one. There's a lot of emotions moving. It's really wanting us to bring out part of our personality, who we are, something we do that we judge, that's in the dark because it's who we are, into the light, or start to feel into why we don't want to or why we're trying to get rid of that part of ourselves, and own that, okay, more fully, because that's what's going to activate the creation of that. All of these things happening automatically, organically, okay? So, yes, and Liberate Me 78 is going to be opening up. It's a sacred energetic container, okay, that's opening up soon, where I will hold your hand with the sacred geometry forces as the messenger of that and the activator of that. And where I will personally activate you to claim your full creative power, okay? Insane wealth in all areas, so not just, wealth as we know it, okay? But feeling wealthy in who you're here to be, comfortable in your own skin, in that darker behavior that you brought out into light, owning who you are and feeling wealth inside of that and abundance inside of that. And that's how you receive, because you're coming into who you're here to be, right? And all else that is rightfully yours to receive. So you're going to be embodying the Liberate Me 78 sacred geometry waves inside of your sacred geometry signature, mapping it to that. And the frequency of that. And powerfully, it will influence the way you think in a good way to bring you more into who you're here to be, the way you perceive, the way you strategize, the way you decide, the way you create, okay? From your signature that is in the highest level of truth, okay? So it's through that full embodiment that you're going to profoundly upgrade the thing you really want to upgrade right now. And it's interconnected in sacred geometry, so it has a knock-on effect. But what is that thing you want to profoundly upgrade right now? Maybe it's your relationship, maybe it's your business, maybe it's your career, okay? And your relationship with it, okay? That's going to profoundly upgrade. And we're going to be paying attention to all aspects, okay, of your energy and your sacred geometry signature, your mind, your body, your soul, and of course your ability to translate this energy into tangible results, okay, strategy or growth in your business or growth in your personal life. And it leads into, it's coming from the experience that is going to be, at the moment we're calling it the ethereal geometry revelations. So it's going to give you a little insight into this 78 of those one by one, okay? So we're going to drop that link below inside of the description or inside the comments, inside the Instagram bio, or speak out or reach out to have that. And also that series is going to take place on YouTube. We're looking into having it stream live in YouTube and Instagram, but definitely YouTube. So if you haven't subscribed or you haven't followed on Instagram, the invite is to do so. If you're called to, if that honors you, do so. Turn the notifications on so you can be kept informed about this and get notifications to get involved. Also helps to support, so more can access these messages as well. If you want to share this, only if you want to share this, all right, you can. That can be a beautiful, loving thing to share this with those you love, or just share it on social media. You're very welcome to. Do let us know if you're sharing things. We always like to reward people as tokens of our appreciation as well, to spread these beautiful messages and activate us to receive what we're here to receive. So that, my darlings, is your Sacred Geometry Liberate Me activation reading for the Buck Capricorn new moon, and the energy's moving over the next few days. So there's tenderness there, there is emotion there, and that's okay. And there's so much in that, in owning who we are, and it's asking us to bring something out. That's the big activation inside it. Own who you are. Okay, I love you so much. This has been Anita of Liberate Me. Thank you for listening. Any questions, any comments? I always love to see that. We love to see that, and we can assist you more and support you more inside of that. Okay, I hope you've been able to receive this well, and I shall be back on soon, I'm sure, with more. Take it easy, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.